Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the Evil Tech Edition. These recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to catch the show live? That would be the time. Before we dive on in, I have my new science fiction novel is rolling out. I just got the email notifications that the audiobooks through ACX, so that's Audible and probably Amazon, are rolling out soon. So I will update my where to buy this weekend. So if you head on over to the website at synaptergy.com or tlm.li/s, you will land here. You can get a newsletter update. You can get our the list of where to buy. You can read the first chapter of the book, or you can listen to the first section of the book. So you can head on over here to synaptergy.com, find out more information, and figure out where you might want to pick yourself up a copy. And on to our news. We're going to start out by saying the Boston Dynamics Spot Robot Dog is now available to own. If you happen to have $75,000, you too can buy yourself a robotic attack dog. That is terrifying. I can only imagine what people are going to do when they buy their attack dog and then program it to do weird, crazy, and scary stuff. Like, put the leash on it, you're walking the dog, like sick them, and you train the dog to go out, pull out like a whole bunch of knives, just like, it'd be kind of crazy. But anyway, the robotic specialist Boston Dynamics on Tuesday started offering its quadrupled Spot robot for sale to interested businesses for the first time. Up to this point, Spot was only available to lease through the company's early adopter program, which opened late 2019. The price, it's about as much as a brand new Tesla Model S, which I believe is $75,000. I thought the Tesla Model S was cheaper, but I don't follow Tesla development build. But anyway, we do have 74,000. I'm sorry, it's not 75,000. It's $74,500. Also worth mentioning here a few other precautions and guidelines. For example, he notes that the Spot is not certified safe for in-home use or for around children or others that can't fully appreciate the hazards that come with its operation. You think? Furthermore, buyers are subjected to the company's terms and conditions, which include the beneficial use of its robots. Yeah, sure. We're going to see the beneficial uses of Spot Robot as they start doing crazy stuff. But I don't know. What do you guys think? If you had a spare $75,000, would you buy yourself a Spot the Robot? Let me know in the comments down below. All right. Samsung now launches a smart health monitoring application with blood pressure measurement. So this is, I'm sure other smartwatches have been doing this for a while, but this is the first time we see it out of Samsung, where their watches are constantly measuring your blood pressure, and then, of course, tying it into a smartphone app, the things of putting your data on someone else's server, and then you, of course, have the option to share this with your healthcare provider or other people, or maybe just the hackers of the world that are really curious about people's blood pressure and things. So there you have it. Nothing too major here, but still, I start getting a little bit turry when we have the smartwatches that have to be tied on in to the apps, and then the apps have to feed the data up. I actually use the Garmin Forerunner because it's the only one I know of that I can manually collect the data without connecting it. You have the option to connect it to something, but I don't have to get the amount of data that I need. And I find it's adequate for doing a basic pedometer, or if I want to take a run measuring things like that. So, but anyway, there is what Samsung is up to. Our next article here, is it Bahrain, Kuwait, and Norway contact tracing apps are among the most dangerous for privacy. So this is actually a security researcher looked at the one from North Dakota and said, yeah, this is a giant privacy nightmare. Well, it turns out that most of these contact tracing apps are coming out and becoming like just giant privacy nightmares. Kind of like crazy people on the internet, maybe on weekly news roundup programs, have been saying from the very beginning that this is going to get abused. I don't care how safe you make it. And understand that in the latest versions of Android and in the latest versions of iOS, they are putting this stuff in at the operating system level. That should terrify you. Yeah, sure, you can turn it off, but at the same time, I don't know. Amnesty's security lab reviewed contact tracing apps from Europe, Middle East, and North Africa, including The detailed technical analysis of 11 apps in Algeria, Bahrain, France, Iceland, my apologies if I'm saying that second name right, Israel, Kuwait, Lebanon, Norway, Qatar, and Tunisia, and United Arab Emirates, some of which range from bad to dangerous for human rights. The Be Aware Bahrain, Kuwait's Shlonik, and Norway's Smitten Stop. That's sweet. Smitten Stop. I've been smitten stopped. Does it, when you're infected and it sends the message out, does it say, you've been smitten stopped? That would be epic. I want the app now. I just want the app to give me a notification that says, you've been smitten swapped. That's epic. That's epic. They stood out as the most alarming mass surveillance tools assessed by Amnesty, with all three actively carrying out live or near live tracking of users' location by frequently uploading GPS coordinates to a central server. Monday, the Norwegian government announced that it would press pause on using its contact tracing app. The decision came just hours before Amnesty International published its analysis and after the organization shared its findings with the Norwegian authorities. So basically, yeah, footnotes, contact tracing's bad. How will this app achieve its objectives? Well, you know, it's going to achieve its objectives by saying, you've been smitten stopped. Come on, man. So now we're seeing all of these contact tracing apps are storing a lot of these data to all these central services. And you know that citizens all around the world trust their governments. So in the latest polls here in the United States, more than 7 in 10 Americans won't use contact tracing apps, data shows. You think? Did anybody guess that Americans don't trust their government right now? I was actually talking to a small shop owner, and they were technically by the letter of the law closed, but we drove over there, and I know their business. I knew their kind of stance on some of this stuff, and we go over there, we take a shot because I kind of needed something that they sell there. And we go over and we look inside and he's like, oh, and he waves at us and he comes over and he unlocks the door. He's like, oh yeah, come on in guys. Oh yeah, we'll sell you stuff. No big deal. We're just not letting everybody just walk in off the street. Since he knew me, he recognized me, we were able to come in and actually engage in business. But he's like, this caused me to change my political views. And I'm not sure if he was blue and converting to red or red and converting to blue. And I really wasn't sure. He's just a great guy. And I chat with him a lot. And we have enough rapport. I said, do you mind saying which direction your politics is going? He says, oh, sure. He says, I'm leaning towards anarchy now. Because he's in a small business. He is trying to succeed in his small business. He is trying to not close his doors permanently, and the local governments they are demonstrating themselves to be sheerly incompetent. And so here is the government coming around. They're going to protect us. Just look at the COVID response in general. Masks are dangerous. Masks are not dangerous. Masks, you should wear them. Masks, you shouldn't wear them. They don't help. They do help. Social distancing. Don't social distancing. You can buy essentials. You can't buy essentials. Nobody knows what to think. And now it's just like, we're all going to die in the streets. And now they're coming out with their latest CDC epidemiology report saying, yeah, if under the age of 65, it's fairly insignificant. And for the people whining about that, when I put that last week, you should stick to Linux and things. I said, I'm actually more qualified to talk about the medical part than I am qualified to talk about the computer part. That's the May 2000. It's not the public-facing blog posts. It's the epidemiology reports. You got to dig deep to find them. And if you actually check the comments, like the last week's video, I actually have it linked in there. Not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it's not dangerous to a certain demographic. I'm saying that it is not particularly dangerous for most people, particularly the people who cause society to function. And so the fact that now the government wants everyone to be using these contact tracing apps, people are going, no. Because there is a lot of anger towards the government from a large portion of citizens and the rest of us, that I'm not particularly angry at the government, but I'm looking at it going, you guys are the most incompetent people. In fact, the only people more competent, I think, than the government is the people holding my corporate business accounts right now. They are the stupidest people I think I've ever met in my life. So I went ahead today and changed companies, and I'll be rolling things over soon. Incompetence is all over the place. And in this case here, the United States citizens are starting to see that, yeah, we're not. Now, this is a significant. Before it was like 60% said, yeah, we might try it. Now it's like 30% said, maybe we'll try it. 70's like, no. So data was gathered from an online survey of just over 2,000 people in the United States collected on June 1st, polling by Opinion Matters on behalf of the security company Avara. When asked if they plan to download the contact tracing app, an overwhelming majority, 71%, answered no. Not only is that bad, it appears to be a deterioration from earlier in April when they found 1 in 2 Americans would probably use the app. Most resistance to downloading the app came from people over the age of 55. Centers Disease Control Prevention showed that people aged 55 and over, almost 80%. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's a trust thing. The survey respondents replied no to the first question, were then asked to explain the decision. On a multiple choice poll, the most common reason cited was concern about privacy. See, we are waking up to privacy, people. We are waking up to privacy. That is a good thing. In all, 44% of those people who said no said they would not trust technology to protect their digital privacy. Nearly as many, 39%, also said they thought the apps created a false sense of security. 37% believed that the apps would not work to slow the spread of the plague, and 35% also indicated the lack of trust in the app providers. Interestingly, the latest poll shows a divergence to April's results. When it came to the organizations, people would trust their COVID data private. Yeah. People are realizing that, oh, you can use my Etsy profile to arrest me now. All right. I think I want to focus more on the privacy aspect of this. Thank you very much. So that is our video today. Let me know, do you, unofficial poll, and I can't do polls on videos anymore. YouTube killed that one too. Let me know in the comments down there. Do you trust contact tracing? Do you not trust contact tracing? What is your reasons? And let us know. We'll keep a civil conversation down there in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.